together through this. Everybody's got some great ideas. And no matter who ends up with this, I think we can all come together and work to make the city better.
Well, Jonathan, I have one very poignant question that I have to ask you. This has come in from a viewer. How much do you actually love your wife right now?
I'm going to say my wife's sitting in there sending you this as she's watching this on TV. More than you can imagine.
She has talked a little bit about what it takes just from from a help standpoint to get you through this kind of election to where you are now, and what kind of role will your family be playing as you move toward September 23rd?
Well, they've all been great encouragement. They've been rock stars through this. They've helped me through all of it. Jada's been with me going out, visiting with people. And I know this is a role the kids may have a tough time with. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny behind it if this happens. But they've all been behind me and still will be.
Aaron, you have any final questions?
No, you just tell that sweet lady that we appreciate her and thank the world of you guys and look forward to this next chapter for you as y'all progress on to September.
I appreciate it.
Well, Jonathan, thank you very much. You and your family, please have a good evening. We thank you very much for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
You too.
So that is Jonathan Varden, the top vote getter in the municipal election for mayor at Jemison this evening. There again will be a runoff September 23rd between Jonathan and Rex Biddle. You know, these two candidates have really kind of risen. They've risen above the rest of the group, so to speak, not because, again, any bad candidates. These two just seem to be the ones that captured the attention of the voters of Jemison.
They did, Jason, and when you look at that, and like I said, all of these candidates, I know all of them. Have had the privilege over time to serve, a good bit of them's families over the years. I mean, they're all good people. All had good ideas that they brought to the table. But when you look at a city like Jemison, or any of our municipalities here in Shelton County, once you get on into the election cycle, you start kind of getting a feel for, okay, this candidate's making some headway, or this candidate, and those two just seem to be holding a share of voters, and those kept being the two names that kept being consistently mentioned over and over again. As you drove through the city of Jemison, that there's a saying in politics that signs don't vote, and that's true, they don't. But when you see a candidate sign prominently displayed in somebody's front yard, and you start seeing that through various parts of the city, the same candidates with that, that's a strong indicator that these are going to be the candidates that's going to rise to the top. And you've seen that with both Jonathan Varden and Rex Biddle both there. You kind of got that feeling as you traveled around Jemison there that those two were probably going to be somewhere toward the top, and that's evident tonight in what we see.
Apparently, there's a lot of you folks watching at home tonight. We thank you very much for dialing into our live coverage. In fact, I think in our Facebook Live format, you kind of overloaded Facebook Live. Congratulations to you at home. That is good job, and we appreciate you dialing in. Baden behind the scenes, he's passing notes, he's trying to work on interviews, and trying to get these final numbers, both from the council election for Jemison, as well as all of the numbers for Clanton. Again, Aaron is probably right that there was still a number of people in line to vote at Clanton, and you can't tabulate those votes until the last person has come through. So if you were in line at 7 p.m., you have an opportunity to vote. You're going to get a chance to vote. So at this point now, working on an interview, and I believe we have Mr. Rex Biddle. Mr. Biddle, how are you this evening, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Congratulations in making that runoff in September.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that. Yes, sir.
It is clear that you and your opponent or your fellow candidate, Jonathan Varden, were clear-cut top echelon candidates for the voters of Jemison. What does that mean to you, sir, personally, to know that so many people place confidence in you?
That is a wonderful reward for the effort that's been made on this. I've talked with so many people that I really enjoyed having conversations with, and the fact that many people come out and vote for you, show you that they agreed, that they were looking for the same kinds of things, just makes everything worth it.
So how does the next few months shake out for you? What are they going to look like in terms of a campaign?
Well, we've got another 4 weeks before the runoff election. So I will hit the ground running again and go back to those folks that I know that shared the vision that I've put out there. I'm going to seek some folks that were voted for other candidates besides Mr. Varden and me and see if I can't get them on board as well. I had some strong, good conversations with those folks as well. And now that it's just the two candidates, I hope to be able to pull them over to see the vision that I've got, and hopefully they'll be able to support that kind of future for Jemison too.
Yeah, and Rex, that leads into my next question. You know, you've had three candidates that have been eliminated from this tonight, and their voters may, may be listening tonight. And I ask your opponent in the runoff this just a moment ago the same question. What exactly is, if you could take just a second and speak to those voters tonight, what would you want them to know about the candidate Rex Biddle, who maybe now that's narrowed down to two and they're faced with that decision? What would be your message to them tonight?
Well, first thing I would like to say is that I do appreciate that their candidate was running. I actually value the fact that 5 different people were interested in contributing to the city in this kind of service level. And it's a disappointment for that voter and for that candidate, for them to have not gotten into the runoff or win the race. So I appreciate that and really have a lot of sympathy and concern for that for them. But what they can look for is candidates that have served on the city council already. They were running for mayor at this point and know what this city needs and would agree with me. No one ever disagreed with me about my platform. Not everyone saw that we should do the same things necessarily and came up with their own list, but they definitely agreed that these were good things for the city. And so I strongly encourage them to look at me as a candidate that will take Jemison forward, that we are looking to lower our living costs here, lower our expenses here, and grow this community with new things that are coming so that Jemison is successful in the long term. And those candidates who are running for similar things, those voters for those candidates can now turn to me, and they will get that from me as a candidate that they can support.
Rex, thank you. Just talk a little bit, if you will, about what it's been like on the campaign trail so far for you, the time investment and how that has looked for you.
It has been quite a commitment. I knew that going in. I've been at this long enough on the city council and serving for a good while with the city to know what I think I was stepping into. You're always a little bit surprised at the sheer endurance that's needed for it. But I got encouragement as I went along the way from so many voters that I was talking to who liked what I had to say. They were giving me positive feedback and encouragement along the way. I often came home at night, and my wife was with me when we made most of these calls on doors, and we talked specifically about how encouraging it was that people were excited about what's happening in Jemison. And so I'd come home refreshed mentally about where we were headed and what we could do, even though I was physically exhausted on occasion. But we've really put forth the effort. It is something I wish I didn't have to go through for another month. Of course, I think everybody would have loved to have seen that be done and decided tonight. But what was decided was that we have 2 excellent candidates, 2 people that a large part of the majority community supported, and I'm going to seek their support to win the office.
Rex, tell us just a quick second. Tell us, we've heard from candidates how important family is to come along beside you in these things, because as somebody, like I said, that knows running a campaign, it is grueling, and especially the 48 hours leading up to it. So tell us just a little bit of how your family has stepped in and kind of supported you and helped you through this process.
Well, my wife made that commitment from the beginning. I would not have done it without her, and she has been my number one supporter from the beginning, and has just stayed by my side as I knew and expected that she would. But she did volunteer that and has done it joyfully. My mother actually lives with me, and she has been my cheering squad every evening, excited about what we're saying. She kept saying to me very often that she was so excited about the campaign and loving to see her son be a part of it. I have 4 kids. 2 of them are still living at home, but all 4 of them played a part in supporting me in the public and helping me get the word out, because a lot of their friends who graduated recently are now young adult voters, and that's been very helpful to have a whole group of a family that'll work with me.
Rex, we really do appreciate you taking time with us tonight. Good luck as you advance on into the next 4 weeks of this runoff with Jonathan Varden. We look forward to speaking with you as well as Jonathan later down the road. We really do appreciate you joining us here on our election night coverage.
I appreciate the time tonight. Thank you for your interest in that.
Thank you, Rex.
Thank you, Rex.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I continued as the interview went on there, trying to find results online for Clanton and the rest of the results for Jemison, and there is absolutely nothing available as of now. We're still trying to acquire those, but nothing has been posted. We do have reporters at the site trying to get those to us, but it is late coming in at this point.
Our understanding, Jason, is that in Jemison, I believe they are still tabulating the council seats there for the final numbers on those. I would suspect we're at 7:56 p.m. I would suspect that probably tabulations are currently underway here for the city of Clanton as well. And as soon as we get those numbers, we are prepared to bring them to you live right here. And again, we appreciate everyone that is joining us this afternoon here on Piper Peach. Thank you for making Piper Peach your choice this evening for your election night coverage. Baden and the little family appreciate that, and Jason and I appreciate them for having us here to share in this afternoon with you as we anxiously await these last-minute returns that'll be coming in here hopefully shortly.
We can talk about the Clanton mayoral race before any results come in, because this one has been hotly contested. It would seem that there's tremendous interest this time in Jeff Price as a candidate for mayor. We've seen so many of his signs out. There's been a lot of talk in the community about it. While you would think, well, that just is overwhelming, Jeff Mims has been right there with his backers as well, and then a track record of what seems to be very legitimate success in office.
Absolutely. And I've seen both candidates this week, and not just this past week, but literally over the last couple months. In the afternoons, I have, when I would leave my office in the afternoon, I have seen Jeff Price out talking with people, knocking on doors. Then it would seem the very next day would see Jeff Mims out, in another part of town doing the exact same thing. So, both candidates have really got out and made a push. And, if you drive through town, like I said, signs don't vote, but if somebody thinks highly enough of a candidate to put their sign in a prominent place in their front yard, you can kind of bet that that's the direction they're leaning. And, is going through the city of Clanton, it's really been tit for tat. I mean, as far as the candidates, it seems like there's been kind of an even number of signs there. So, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what that vote total is this evening.
And that's it. That is an interesting thought, because we put so much emphasis today in our election efforts, our campaigning. And there's a lot of focus on media, a lot of focus on social media. but it still seems in communities like this, Aaron, that it is that door-to-door, shake your hand, look you in the eye that has the greatest influence on the way these local elections go.
It does. It's we're fortunate that we live in a community where it's still that way. People want to have access to the candidates. They want to have access to their elected officials, and I know that in the times that I have run for office here, yes, you have people that want signs in their yard or signage or that, but it's still, you go out and you do events, and these candidates have done that. I've seen them at events across the county. But that's really where your connection is made, when you can sit down on the front porch with a husband or wife, somebody there in the comfort of their home, and have a conversation with them, answer specific questions they've got. That's where the relationship part is formed. And I'm gonna tell you, and serving now a little over 10 years as coroner here in the county, and all the families that I've come in contact with, it's we don't realize how blessed we are to still have a community where you can actually sit down and form relationships, and those relationships, like I said, that's what drives these elections, and especially, like I said, municipal elections, where at times anywhere from 2 to 5 votes may mean the difference.
It would seem that you're getting ready to load up and do it all over again here pretty soon too. You want to make an official announcement today or anything like that, or? I won't put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I just we're trying to find something to talk about until these other numbers come in, and Bate just passes a note. There's nothing for me to location.
They are still waiting out there. No, I have been approached by I don't know how many people, especially over the course of the last, I would say, month and a half, wanting to know, would I be seeking another term as coroner? And I have not. I hadn't said anything publicly as to that, because that will be up for in 2026. But yes, I will announce that tonight. I do intend to seek another term as coroner here for Chilton County. The people have been very good to me. I have been blessed. I'm blessed to be able to serve the county that I have been raised in. The people in this county have been just tremendously good to me, and I have been blessed. And it is an honor and a privilege for me to be able to serve them. And I want to continue serving them if that's their will.
Well, if the look at this.
Look, Sparks, our sponsor this afternoon.
Hey, Mike Baker, look right there, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Bate. They say politics put smiles on you, and I'm just saying that from when you went into this. You got a little more gray in your temple than you did when you started this.
I did, but I've had a lot of good people come alongside me along the way, and a lot of those people they're no longer here. They have passed on to be with the Lord, and but as those have went on to be with the Lord, He has seen fit to put new ones in place there. And like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to serve. And it's just it's where my heart is. And but yes, I will say that tonight. I do intend to seek another term in 2026 as your Chilton County coroner, and just ask everyone. For their support in that as we inch toward that, and that'll be here before we know it.
The question that a lot of folks ask, and especially these local and the municipal elections, is there anything that the candidate actually gains from getting one of these elected positions, or is it more about what the candidate has to give?
It's not something that I do for Aaron Ellison. It's literally being able to give back to a community who has given me so much, and that's how I've always looked at it. And I think anybody that is seeking an elected office to serve the people, that's where your heart has to be. It has to be in service to the people, because if it is about self, if it's about promoting yourself, the office will never be what it's supposed to be. You've got to keep the people you serve front and center.
Just as you can see, Baden has passed me notes. It's becoming uncomfortable. He's got this check yes or no thing going on there.
He does.
I'm a little uncomfortable with that one. The one that gets your interest, though, is that from our Facebook, YouTube, and then second app viewers, over 2,500 folks watching right now. So
Thank you. Thank you.
That is the big thank you. We truthfully gain nothing out of this. We're doing this as a public service on behalf of ourselves and on behalf of Piper Peach Media. But we really do appreciate you guys taking the time. That's why we're trying so hard behind the scenes to get you these numbers, because we know they matter to you. That's why you're dialed in. But if you're there and you're watching, please feel free. We'd love to hear your comments. So many of you already have. Go ahead and make those comments and share those with us. Baden's still working behind the scenes on numbers. We hope they come across. Baden has just received something from Jemison that I believe he may try to send our way. We have a post from Jeffrey Price on Facebook. He says, "We won." So
That's
Jeffrey
very
Price for mayor. I'm looking this up right now, and this is an indication that Jeff Price may be the new mayor of Clanton.
Well, like we said, Jason, we just based on the sheer number of people that we've seen going into City Hall today to cast votes, we knew that this was going to be a close race. Anytime you deal with any election, and they'll tell you this, whether it's municipal, state, or even national, the higher the voter turnout, it doesn't normally bode well for the incumbent. You look at this two different ways, between the city of Jemison and the city of Clanton. You had the city of Jemison, who was going to choose a new mayor regardless. You had that situation that drew the turnout. But then in Clanton, you had two candidates, your incumbent and the challenger, who really made it about the issues here. And like we just said, both candidates really got out and canvassed the city and really tried to get their message across. And there has been, there's been issues raised along the way of different things, and each candidate has responded to those. Honestly, I haven't seen anything just overly, bad. Both run fairly great campaigns.
I have numbers in front of me right now. These are not official numbers, but they come from the tally sheets. Right now, unofficially, we're giving these numbers unofficially. Jeff Price won both machines and the absentee box and received a total of 927 votes. Jeff Mims received a total of 737 votes. So as it stands, Jeff Price has 55.7% of the vote, and if this becomes official in the near future, Jeff Price will be the next mayor of the city of Clanton.
I think those numbers are going to be very close to official there. From what I'm seeing, the feed. The Price camp and supporters are basically in jubilation there. I'm seeing a lot of congratulatory posts, a lot of people who have been, canvassing for him, talking about the accomplishment that they have made. So what we see here tonight, incumbent Challenger Price, Challenger Price is unseating an incumbent Mims this afternoon here for the city of Clanton. So Baden is still running. He is trying to get other numbers that are still being tabulated.
I have other numbers that he has just sent me. In the Ward 1 council seat between Billy Singleton and Jennifer Carter, Billy Singleton with 64% of the vote, 271 to 155. So Billy Singleton will retain his city council position. And in Ward 4, between Elijah Day AG and Greg D. Jarnett, a close one. But Elijah Day AG with 138 votes, you said this, 5 or 6 votes to Greg D. Jarnett's 131. Elijah Day AG will remain the councilman for Ward 4 with 51.3% of the vote to 48.7% of the vote. So just to recap our Clanton numbers, Jeff Price will be the new mayor for the city of Clanton, taking home 55% of the vote. Billy Singleton retains his council seat, as done Elijah Day AG. Now we have numbers. Aaron, if you would take a moment to discuss that. I have more numbers coming in. This from the city of Jemison. Let me take a look at these.
Yes, that's what I've got in hand there, Jason. Just doing some quick tabulations. It appears that they could possibly be a couple of runoffs for council district seats in the city of Jemison. For Jemison City Council District 5, there were two candidates there. Meredith Atchison Nunn with 69 votes. And Marion Smith, 55 votes there. So it looks like Meredith Atchison Nunn will be representing District 5 for the city of Jemison there. For District 4, for the city of Jemison, 3 candidates there. James Adams with 50 votes, Nalara Northcutt Holcomb with 39, and Anthony Nix with 27. Based upon my math there, Jason, it looks like there will be a runoff there in District 4 there as well. The numbers we've been given for Jemison City Council District 3, this was a 4-person race here. It looks the results for Charles Chuck Calloway with 44 votes, Lake Gilliland with 89 votes, Rhett Hillier with 18 votes, and Kenneth Peters with 8 votes there.
Repeat those numbers one more time. I was given something here.
Yeah, for District 3, for the City Council of Jemison, Chuck Calloway with 44 votes, Lake Gilliland 89 votes, Rhett Hillier with 18 votes, and Kenneth Peters with 8 votes there.
So will that let's cover that again. Should there be a runoff, or does Lake Gilliland have enough votes that he should
I
not?
believe that it's gonna be close, but let's see here. That's what I'm trying to tabulate here with these to see if we're gonna have a.
While you do that, I have District 1 and District 2 numbers. 2 candidates in each one of these, Andy Davidson and Luis Rojas in District 1. Andy Davidson comes away with 109 votes to 93 for Luis Rojas. So Andy Davidson will be the new city councilman in District 1. And then for District 2, Billy Carroll and Levis Wayne Peters Jr. Peters, 52 votes, Carroll, 40. So Levis Wayne Peters Jr. will be your new city councilman from that district. So District 1 will be Andy Davidson, and District 2 will be Levis Wayne Peters.
And from my tabulation on that, Jason, it does appear that Lake Gilliland is going to go without a runoff there.
So other than other than the mayoral race there in the city of Jemison, there are no other.
Mayoral, and they, like I said, they will be in the council seat. There looks like they will be a runoff there in District 4 council, based on my tabulations there, because that was a 3-person race, and it looks like based on my tabulations on that, neither of those candidates reached 50% plus one. So it does appear that they would be a runoff between James Adams and Laura Northcutt Holcomb for District 4 there.
But the two big attention-getting elections tonight are for the mayors of the county's two largest towns, Jemison and Clanton. Jemison, we've narrowed the race to two candidates for a runoff in September, and that'll be Jonathan Varden and Rex Biddle. Not in any particular order from us. That's the order. Varden with 301 points, Biddle with votes rather. Biddle with 211. But the big news of the night is that the city of Clanton officially has new leadership at its head, and that is Jeffrey Doc Price with 55% of the vote tonight, 927 votes to 737 for Jeff Mims.
Voters of Clanton deciding that a new direction. So we will see as Jeff Price takes the helm for the next 4 years to lead the city of Clanton. So I would say that tonight, like I said, we knew that race, like I said, both candidates really worked for it. And tonight they have spoke, and it does appear that Jeff Price was able to get his message through to a majority of the voters here in the city of Clanton, and Jeff Price unseats Jeff Mims to become the next mayor of the city of Clanton.
Surprised, but not surprised. Felt this was close the whole time.
I felt that it was close, and like I said, it was going to be who could get their message to resonate. And like I said, because both of them have worked this city from one end to the other. Like I said, I've seen both of them out in the afternoons, canvassing neighborhoods, trying to get their message out. And clearly tonight, Jeff Price's message resonated with the voters, and the voters have decided to make a change and to grant him 4 years to lead here in the city of Clanton. So, like I said, each candidate there, like I said, it was the whole time looking at it. As I said earlier, we just felt that it would be a close race this time. So yes, I think that's accurate to say. Kind of surprised, but not totally shocked.
Well, I don't know what more damage that we can do, to be perfectly honest with you. Baden's eyes have long since rolled up in the back of his head, so we have. It's been a pretty intense last 10 or 15 minutes here because we were waiting. We were waiting on those last group of numbers,
and we know we've got a ton of people that's watching us out there. Doc, if you're listening, watching, call us. We'd be glad to talk with you. I know our viewers, listeners, you've done a heck of a job of laying out your vision. We would love to give you an opportunity to. So, if you're watching or listening, reach out to us here at Piper Peach. We'd love to get you on before we sign off here momentarily.
The numbers are no longer unofficial. They are official. What we have shared with you is the truth. Those are the numbers, and the candidates that we've announced to you that are the winners are indeed the winners tonight. It is our sincere hope that the real winners are the people in each of these municipalities. If you got out and you voted today, you're already a winner, because there's plenty of places in the world that simply don't have that opportunity. So thank you for making the most of an opportunity that is not just unique to the United States, but is part of what makes it so special, a representative form of government.
Absolutely. And hometown, these people, it is our prayer that as they take the helm of leadership here for our local municipalities, that they will take the trust that our voters have placed in them as they make decisions that, ultimately at the end of the day is going to affect our lives, affect our businesses, and affect our way of life here. So, to each candidate this afternoon that has won their respective race, to the ones who are headed to runoffs, I tell you personally, you're in our thoughts and prayers, because it is a big undertaking. So we do pray for you in that as you that the Lord would grant you wisdom to make the decisions that lie ahead as you lead our municipalities here. So congratulations, and our prayers are to you.
Congratulations for myself, and God bless you each as you endeavor to lead well in His wisdom and for the best of the people whom you serve. Our time is up. We have brought this as far as we can. So for Bait and Little, I'm Jason Green and my partner, Aaron Ellison. We thank you for your time tonight. God bless you, and God bless.